Hi guys, it's Milo again, and in this video, I'll show you how I turned this thrifted dress into this cute little scrunchy handbag, which I think is a very interesting idea because scrunchies are so trendy at the moment. So it all started when I was browsing Pinterest and looking for handbags, then I saw this scrunchy handbag section, and I went to investigate, and I went to its website, and it says that it's called Halo Scrunchie Bag. I then continue my investigation and find out how much this one costs, and it's 150 Canadian dollars. So kinumpute ko siya kung magkano siya in peso, and in total lumalabas na siya ay 5,700 pesos, which I don't have because I'm broke. And then I realized I could sew, and I have a sewing machine, and I have a perfect fabric, which is this thrifted dress, which is napakainit. Gawa siya sa 100% polyester, and it's waterproof, kaya napakainit nga naman niyang bilang damit, considering that the Philippines has a tropical climate, kaya I decided to turn it into something else instead of just storing it on my closet. And yeah, just a disclaimer, if you have the money, go buy it. I think that bag has a very good quality, and I think it's also handmade. So if you have the money, go buy it and support other handmade artists. Tama na ang chika, let's start this strip flip. Other things that I did use on the strip flip video aside from this dress are interfacing and some elastic. So the very reason why I decided to turn this dress into something else is because of its material. Kasi nga napakainit niya. And yeah. So here is the dress before. So the first thing I'm gonna do here is, of course, disassemble this dress. Separate the lining fabric from the outer fabric. I'm gonna use the lining fabric later for the lining of the back. Turn it inside out. Here's the cutting along the seams. And one eternity later. Now I have two pieces of fabric, the lining fabric and the outer fabric, which is the original or the main dress. And I'm gonna use the lining fabric as a lining later. After that, I went on and traced and cut the pieces that I need to make the bag. If you want to make this, here are the pieces that you need to trace and cut to any fabric that you probably have. And measurements are shown on the diagrams. You could screenshot it if you want to make a similar one. So in here, you could see that I end up making a pattern from scratch paper para mas madali kong ma-transfer yung pattern ko dun sa dress. In that way, I could easily trace and cut the pieces that I need para gawin yung bag. After tracing, I went on cutting all the pieces and ipapakita ko sila sa inyo. Here are the pieces that I end up cutting from the dress. These two pieces are for the main bag or the body of the bag, the outer part. This is for the lining, and this is for the scrunchy part of the strap. And now this is for the main strap, and I also end up cutting pieces from the interfacing. Finally, this is the actual sewing part. So, the first thing that I'm gonna sew is yung strap ng ating bag. So, magsisimula ako dun sa scrunchy part ng strap kasi 2 piraso siya. Pagdudugtungin ko sila kasi wala akong mahabang strip. So, gagawin ko is pagdudugtungin ko na lang yung dalawang yun para makabuo tayo ng 100 cm by 10.5 cm na strip. After nun, meron na tayo isang buong strip. So, I'm gonna go ahead and fold it in half. Then, pag natupi ko na siya, I'm gonna sew on one edge. As shown on the photo. So, ito nga pala yung pinaka magiging scrunchie part nung handle natin. So, yan, I'm just gonna sew on the edge, leaving two sides open. And then, what I'm gonna do is turn it inside out using this safety pin or itong papible. So, ganito magbaliktad nung tela na tinahin nyo using a safety pin. So, you're gonna pin on one side. Dapat open pa din siya. Then, you're gonna insert the safety pin sa loob. And then, you're gonna scrunch the fabric hanggang makarating ka dun sa kabilang dulo. Once na nakarating ka na sa dulo, all you have to do is pull the part with the safety pin para mabaliktad mo yung strip na ginawa mo. Then, nakatago na yung seams. Then, you're gonna do the very same thing dito sa ating mas maikling strip. This would be the main handle of the bag. Again, you're gonna do the very same thing. Sew on one edge after folding the strip in half. And then, after that, babaliktarin din natin siya using a safety pin later. So, this would be the main strap of the bag. So, I have to make it more stable. Kaya, ang ginawa ko is nilagyan ko siya ng interfacing sa loob. So, I'm gonna insert this interfacing sa loob nitong strip using a safety pin again. And I'm gonna do the very same thing. Insert ko lang siya sa loob hanggang makarating ako sa dulo. Then, I'm gonna align it. Again, I'm sorry for the cricket rooster sounds that you would be hearing throughout this video. After aligning the pelon interfacing dun sa loob ng aking strip for the main strap, I'm gonna do a top stitch all over it. So now on this part, maybe you're wondering kung paano natin ma-achieve yung scrunchy effect ng strap. So naalala nyo yung ginawa ko kanina na mas mahabang strip. I'm gonna use that for the scrunchy effect ng ating handle. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna insert yung shorter part ng ating strap, yung merong pelon interfacing sa loob, dun sa ating longer strip. At hindi ko muna i-insert yung ating shorter strip hanggang doon sa dulo. What I'm gonna do here is secure first yung unang edge ng ating shorter strip dun sa edge din ng ating longer strip. And then after I secure that edge, I'm gonna go and scrunch up the fabric. And then I'm gonna secure the other edge. Therefore, magkakaroon tayo ng scrunchy effect or yung ruching effect dun sa ating handle. So I hope I made sense there, but anyway, I'm gonna start working on the main bag. So the first thing that I'm gonna tackle for the body of the bag is our lining. I'm gonna fuse an interfacing para mas stable siya. And then I'm gonna end up with 4 pieces of fabric. Yung dalawa is para dun sa ating outer part. And itong merong interfacing is, this would be the lining of the bag. So I'm gonna put them right sides together and then I'm gonna sew on the edge as shown on this photo. So you're gonna do that, or I'm gonna do that on both the lining pieces and the outer fabric pieces of the bag. So the next thing that I'm gonna do is add dimension sa ating bag. So para ma-achieve yon, ang gagawin ko is I'm gonna sew a triangle on the base of the bag para ma-achieve natin yung commonly nakikita nating dimension sa long champ bags. That's just an example. And here's how I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna do that by pinching the edge of the bag or the base of the bag to form a triangle, and then I'm gonna sew a straight stitch from around 1 to 1.5 inch starting from the tip of the triangle. Then ginawa ko to twice dun sa base ng ating outer fabric and lining fabric. Maybe if you're gonna do this, you will have the option to cut the excess part of the triangle, but in my case, I just leave it as is. After that is babaliktarin na natin yung ating outer and lining fabric para i-check kung tama ba yung ating ginawa, kung pantay ba siya. And then after that, babaliktarin ulit natin yung outer fabric para mai-insert natin yung lining fabric dun sa loob niya. Then ayan, makikita nyo, dapat nasa labas yung ating seams para dun sa outer fabric. Then dapat wala namang makikitang seams dun sa ating lining fabric pag pinasok natin siya sa loob ng outer fabric. Therefore, ang mangyayari sa kanila is right sides together. And then we're gonna align their seams sa gitna para pantay siya. And then I'm gonna pin it in place. But before that, I'm gonna mark around 1 to 1.5 inch. That would serve as an opening later para mabaliktad natin yung bag. Then I'm gonna continue pinning. And then, naalala nyo yung mark na ginawa natin kanina. We will start on the right mark. Doon tayo magsa-start ng pagtatahe, and then we will end on the left side. We're gonna sew around it, but then again, I will stop at the mark para magkaroon pa rin tayo ng opening para mabaliktad natin yung bag after it. And see that? Meron na tayong opening doon sa gitna dahil nag-stop ako doon sa mark, and then after that, babaliktarin na natin yung bag. This process would be a little tricky and hard if nagsisimula ka pa lang sa pananahe, but dahan-dahanin mo lang yung pagbabaliktad if ever ginagawa mo to para din hindi masira or mapunit yung tahi natin kanina. As you can see, pag nagtagumpay ka na sa pagbabaliktad nun, all you have to do now is align the fabrics. Ayusin mo na. Dapat yung outer fabric ay nasa labas and yung lining fabric ay nasa loob. After mo na siyang maayos, we're gonna close the opening by sewing all around it. So we're gonna do a top stitch around the top. After doing the top stitch, so hindi ko napansin na namatay yung camera ko. So here's what I did after that. So I made this tissue model. Yes, I know, pangit siya, but anyway, bear with it. So after ko mag top stitch all around the edge or yung top, what I did is fold the top for around 2 inches paloob. Then after ko i-fold yung top, imagine nyo na lang, ayan yung bag na ginagawa ko. I sew a top stitch again, and then I sew twice. Tinahi ko siya twice. Yung isa is top stitch again, and then yung pangalawa is top stitch again, but then I leave an opening in the middle kasi doon natin ilalagay yung elastic natin mamaya. So in this next part, you would see what I just explained using the tissue model. So I did top stitch, one at the top and one at the bottom with an opening so we could then insert an elastic later. And pinaliktad ko lang yan para makita nyo ng mas maayos. And the next part, bago tayo mag-insert ng elastic, is I'm gonna sew both the strap and the main bag together. So on this part, make sure na tatayin nyo siya horizontally and hindi mo siya tatayin vertically kasi magkakaroon ng harang and we would not be able to insert the elastic later. So I went ahead and pin it both sides. So yung seams natin sa magkabilang gilid is yun na rin yung magiging guide natin para malaman natin kung saan natin ipipin or kung tama ba yung magiging placement ng ating straps. So again, as a reminder, you need to sew it horizontally or I'm gonna sew it here horizontally para meron tayong opening mamaya kung saan natin ilalagay yung elastic. You could sew this using a sewing machine but in my case, masyadong stiff na yung fabric para dun sa needle ng aking machine so I went ahead and sew it by hand. So this is it after sewing it by hand. So I sew along the existing stitches para hindi kita.
Fabric is so hard.
So ito na yung ating bag and malapit na tayong matapos. We're almost done! Yay! And ito na yung ating last step sa ating Thrift Flip Turn a Dress into a Bag video. So we need an elastic in this very last part. So remember the opening kanina. So we're gonna insert an elastic there to create a ruching effect dun sa ating bag. So again, we're gonna use a safety pin on this very last step. So the safety pin is very important. So all you have to do is insert it on the opening. From the left side, you're gonna ruche it until makarating kayo doon sa kabilang dulo and mailabas nyo ulit yung safety pin doon sa opening. Here I went ahead and cut the elastic from its source. Now I have two edges or two tips of the elastic. Now I'm gonna pull it together to create that ruching effect on the top part of our bag. And you could secure this using a sewing machine, but then I became so lazy and I just tied it together. O nga pala, I only used the skirt part of the dress, and the top part, I'm gonna use it on another project. See that? That's the bag. So, para ma-appreciate nyo siya, here I am pretending I'm all dressed up, but I'm actually wearing a chiffon skirt over my pajamas. And guys, tell me about your verdict on this Thrift Flip video and on this scrunchy bag. I think it's really cute, but tell me what do you think about it. So on the left side, you could see my inspiration photo, and on the right side is my outlook. So tell me your verdict about this Thrift Flip video. And you might also comment your ideas on what videos I should do next. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button and consider subscribing. That would help me a lot. I have more videos coming up. Thanks for watching. Bye!